You're sitting at a high-end restaurant, the kind where they fold your napkin if you stand up for 10 seconds that night. A cold realization washes over you. You realize that if your bank account hit zero tomorrow, or if you lost the ability to listen to her work drama for 3 hours straight, she wouldn't just be upset. She'd be gone. You look at her and realize she doesn't love you for who you are. She loves you for what you provide. You are not a partner in her eyes. You are a Swiss Army knife of resources, a financial tool, an emotional sponge, and a social status symbol. And the second a better, sharper tool appears on her radar, you aren't just second place. You are replaced. Brother, you're living in a fantasy.
Most men spend their lives believing in the Disney version of love, the idea that loyalty is a reciprocal currency and that if you provide enough, you'll be rewarded with genuine devotion. But today, I am going to expose the actual code running in the background of your relationship, the resource extraction protocol. I'm going to show you why biology, not romance, drives modern dating, and why your value is fundamentally tied to your utility. If you don't watch this to the end, you will continue to be the executive donkey in your own life, working 60 hours a week to fund a lifestyle for someone who views you as a dispensable utility. Don't say you weren't warned.
To understand the tragedy of the modern man, we have to look at the valuation economy. In any other marketplace, the price is determined by supply and demand. But in the sexual marketplace, women have been programmed by millions of years of evolution to be the ultimate resource extractors. This isn't malice, it's biology. For most of human history, women were physically vulnerable during pregnancy and child-rearing. Evolution installed a resource extraction protocol in their brains to ensure they chose mates who could provide the resource stream necessary for survival. But here is where the system broke. In the modern world, survival is guaranteed by the state, yet the extraction software is still running on loop. She is running Stone Age software in a digital world, and you're the one getting the blue screen of death.
Let me tell you about an experiment that reveals the raw organizational nature of the genders. The island experiment. Researchers separated groups of men and women onto different islands to see how they would survive. The men immediately organized. They divided labor, built shelters, and established systems of resource management. Within days, they had a functioning micro-society. The women, however, consumed all their supplies immediately. They fought constantly and created nothing. When men were eventually added to the women's group, the women immediately stopped working and expected the men to provide everything. When women were added to the men's group, they didn't help build. They created drama and broke down the systems the men had already established. This tells us a fundamental truth society tries to suppress. Men are relationship builders, while women are relationship extractors. Men build the structure, the house, the finances, the emotional safety, and women test how much they can extract from that structure before it collapses. This creates a state of relationship entropy, where energy is constantly being consumed but never replenished by the extractive party. Think about your own life. I coached a guy last year, a brilliant software developer who made mid-six figures. He thought he had a partnership, but when we audited his life, we found that 98% of his effort was dedicated to optimizing her utility. He was her personal ATM, her unpaid therapist, her domestic assistant, and her social proof. He was the Swiss Army knife, and he was exhausted. He realized that his wife's love was fundamentally conditional. It was based on his utility, not his intrinsic worth. The moment he suggested he wanted to take a lower-paying job to pursue a passion project, her love began to evaporate like morning dew. This is the utility versus worth trap. The moment you become indispensable to a woman's lifestyle, you become dispensable as a person. She stops seeing you as an individual with dreams and starts seeing you as a function. You are the provider tool. You are the problem solver tool. You are the validation tool. In the validation economy, she is constantly calculating your worth in units. Did you text back fast enough? Plus 2 units. Did you pay for the expensive vacation? Plus 10 units. But the moment you stop functioning optimally, her hypergamy calculator updates, and your value proposition drops to 0. This leads us to the controversy of selective equality. But what they actually want is optimization. They want equal pay and equal opportunities, but they rarely want equal accountability or equal responsibilities. They want your traditional masculine advantages added to their modern feminist advantages, but they offer nothing traditional in return. They want a provider, but they refuse to be nurturers. They want a leader, but they refuse to follow. The math doesn't work, and that's why modern relationships are failing at a rate of 70 to 75%. The system is rigged by what I call behavioral mimicry. During the courtship phase, she unconsciously adapts her personality and interests to match yours. She loves your music, shares your hobbies, and agrees with your values. You think you've found your soulmate. But once the commitment is secured, the mask falls. Suddenly, your hobbies are selfish, your friends are a bad influence, and your money is our money, which she controls. This isn't a glitch, it's a feature of the resource extraction protocol. Piece by piece, your independent life is dismantled until you are psychologically and economically trapped. We are witnessing a civilization collapse driven by this imbalance. When a society optimizes for female feelings over masculine facts and comfort over challenge, it creates weakness. Rome, Greece, Babylon, they all followed the same pattern. Standards dropped, accountability disappeared, and resources were redistributed from the producers, men, to the consumers, extractors, until the structure collapsed. Modern dating is simply this biological reality unleashed without restraint.
So, what is the fallout? You become a ghost in your own home. You develop Domestic Stockholm Syndrome, identifying with the goals of the system that exploits you and defending the bars of your own cage. You tell yourself that happy wife, happy life is wisdom, when in reality, it is a psychological program designed to train you to prioritize her emotional state over your own survival. You've become an emotional appliance, and you're counting the years until the kids are grown so you can escape a prison you're still paying the mortgage on.
But there is a path to psychological sovereignty. It begins with recognizing that reality is undefeated, and it doesn't care about your feelings. You must undergo the process of individuation, becoming a whole individual whose worth is not a report card issued by your partner. You must become outcome independent. The person who needs less holds all the power. When you build a life so compelling that partnership is an optional addition rather than a desperate necessity, you become untouchable. Stop being a volunteer in your own destruction. Reclaim your frame. Reclaim your backbone. The red button is in front of you. Push it and see the world for what it actually is. Or keep wondering why your loyalty is being rewarded with contempt. The performance ends today. Reclaim your core. Subscribe to Sovereign Core to keep decoding the hidden algorithms of the mind. Hit the notification bell because the truth is the only thing that will set you free. Reality is undefeated. See you in the next one.